The Cupertino Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary Club of Cupertino, and the City of Cupertino present the 2016 State of the City Address, presented by Cupertino Mayor Barry Chang. And now, President of the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce, Mike Rohde.
Today, the introduction of the mayor. Today, our State of the City Address will be delivered by Mayor Barry Chang. Mayor Chang was elected to the Cupertino City Council in 2009 and re-elected in 2014. Prior to the City Council, Mayor Chang served on the Cupertino Public School Commission, the Cupertino Union School District Board of Education. Mayor Chang also is a member of the Cupertino Rotary Club. Barry earned his MS in civil engineering from the University of Cincinnati. Barry and his wife Sue raised 3 children in Cupertino. Their children all attended Lincoln Elementary, Kennedy Middle School, and Monte Vista High School. 2 have graduated from UCLA, and the youngest just graduated from UC San Diego. So help me introduce and welcome Mayor Barry Chang. Good luck. Thank you.
Mike, thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. My name is Barry Chen. As you probably know, I'm not a very structured person, and I have 8 pages to read it, so that makes me already very nervous. Compounded, our county supervisor, Joe Smith, just walked in, and then he said, I want to hear what you have to say. So that makes me even more nervous. So in case I screw up on my speech, please see County Supervisor Joe Smith. Okay. First, I want to thank my wife, my family, for their unconditional support. Without their support, I won't be here today. My older daughter, Eileen, she's an optometrist working at Kauai. And my second daughter is on the other side. Alice is an attorney, and she just got a big assignment from her office. And my son, Howard, he's working in a high-tech company, and they all have to work. They would love to be here today, but they have to work, so they cannot be here. So only my wife here, and I really deep gratitude told my wife, Sue, can you please stand up so people. Thank you, Sue. She's always on my side, okay, and that's very important for me. I also want to thank my colleague, my city council colleague. They're the best city council I have ever worked with it, and thank them for electing me to the mayor. And then so I have them sit on the head table, okay. As I say, they're the best city council member, but if you disagree with me, you can see them easily after the meeting right at the head table here, okay? And I also want to thank the Rotary Club and Chamber of Commerce for co-hosting this event. And also a special thanks to the city staff. They're the best city staff I ever seen. Can I have the city staff please stand up? I know one table here, one table there. Thank you very much. And our city manager, David Brand, can you stand up again, please? Very tall guy, okay. And our newly appointed city attorney, Randy Hong, please stand up. Randy is also very tall, and he plays basketball, okay, which I cannot do, okay. And then, as I say, they're the best city staff I ever worked with it. And then if you disagree with what I say, please see me after the meeting, okay? Thank you. Sorry, I need to read, okay? Yes, it has been a long time. I've been waiting for this for 6 years, right? It's been a long time. And then so when my city colleague elected me on December 1st, I was to be the mayor. I was so happy. So when we went home, my wife told me, oh, she started a Chinese quotation. You know, to be a good mayor, you need 2 brushes of skill to do a good job, okay? Well, I'll say it in Chinese. Okay, here's the 2 brushes, okay? Chinese say, 需要2把刷子。你要有2把刷子才能够做好。Okay, so I do have 2 brushes. So I asked her, actually, how many brushes do I have? She said, you only have half of a brush. But you do have potential. And that's why she married me for 35 years, because I do have potential. She's right. I have potential with persistent will and a warm heart. And here are some examples. I started learning to ski when I was 40. Chinese guy at 40 started learning to ski, right? But I can manage to go down Black Diamond Trail in any ski resort, fine, okay? So I'm doing pretty good. And when I was 50, I switched to snowboard. How many of you snowboard, right? And I can manage to go down Gun Barrel. You know Gun Barrel in Heavenly, right? And one time when I came down, I saw the sign there with the warning sign with the skeleton. And it said, danger, you may die. Okay, but I'm still alive, so I have come down a couple times. And so here's the clipping of the snowboarding. You know, you can see how well I'm doing. And here's my helmet. Okay, so you get, if you want to see my real performance on the slope, come with me, okay, snowboard with me. Another example is I have loved reading poems when I was in high school, but I never wrote one until when I was 62. And I started writing poems in Chinese 2 years ago. So now you know how old I am, right? And I enjoy it so much. And I started writing English poem 2 weeks ago. And I deeply believe in this world, if there's more people writing poems, we'll have a much, much more peaceful world. That's in my belief. You don't have to agree with me, okay? So here are 2 poems I write in Chinese and then in English. So I will have Jennifer come up. Jennifer is the 2nd poet laureate of City of Cupertino. She'll read it in English because I don't have a confidence to read my own English poem, okay? But I do have a confidence to read my Chinese poem. So I read Chinese first and then she'll read the English one, okay? The first one is a Harvard Feng Shui. Strolling through Harvard campus on a blizzard evening. 古色古香的哈佛校区，在白茫茫的大雪中矗立，雪狂袭，人未辟，枯藤无处觅，老树有挺立，昏鸦归巢壁，有心人在哈佛寻寻觅觅。Jennifer. In English version.
Harvard, full of history and nostalgia, standing firm in the blizzard, snow howling, people hiding. Dry vine cannot be found. Old trees are intertwined, and in the evening, the crows are nestling down. One lone person is strolling, still searching round and round.
Much better than me, right? The second one is the Silicon Valley in the morning. Okay, one morning I woke up and I saw the sunrise on the east side and I saw the rainbow on the west side, which is very rare. So then my mind just clicked and I wrote this Chinese poem. And I read it in Chinese and then I'll have Jennifer read it in English. Okay, it's called Silicon Valley Sunrise. 睡梦中醒来，跟你的美丽撞个满怀，清新招来，除尽昨日的阴霾，你还带来半天红彩。
Silicon Valley sunrise. Just woke up from my dream, stumble onto your beauty. Early morning sunbeam in the winter air, fresh and clean. You wiped out yesterday's cloudy doubt and brought me rainbow proud.
Thank you, Jennifer. So now you all agree with my wife, I do have talent, right? In 2014, on my birthday, my daughter Alice gave me a book of selected poem from Robert Frost. And here's the poem, the book. And in there, my daughter wrote to Bobby, that's the Chinese pronunciation of daddy, okay? For always taking the road less traveled by, love Alice. She even stick a green tag on the poem, and then in here it say the road not taken. She well describes who I am, and I will have Cupertino first poet laureate David Denny to come up and read Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken, very famous poem. David.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for including me today. Good afternoon, everyone. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for the passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Yes, I always took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference for me. The road ahead of us may be bumpy. However, if we all do the right things for our city, it will continue to be a great city on earth. I'm known for my straightforward style, so let me tell you the good news first. Our city is on a very solid financial ground. We receive about $88.8 million in revenue, and our expenditure is about $86.2 million. So we balance our budget fine. We have a little bit extra. And besides that, we have about $46.5 million in reserve. We show the, no? Okay, one more. Most of our revenue comes from the property tax and the sales tax. If we have a booming Vaco shopping center and the Oak shopping center, our property tax and the retail sales tax revenue will increase. Both property owners would like to invest and redevelop their properties. However, the Vaco development project is on hold now. The opposition group has filed paperwork to place a measure on the ballot soon. The major part of our expenditure is on road maintenance. Yes, we have a reserve of about $46.5 million. However, if we don't watch carefully, it can be wiped out in just a single big item. For instance, to build a brand new civic center will cost us about $70 million, which will put us in debt and leave no money for other important items like providing free shuttle bus service and making our pedestrian and bike lane more safer. The world is watching the Apple Campus 2 project. You may want to know where it stands. I visited the job site a couple months ago, and the Apple's senior executive told me it will be finished on schedule, on time, by the end of this year. So as you can see, right? And this building will be one of the most green buildings on earth. And another good news is Apple will have a very, very special Apple store in Cupertino. When I say very special, you can have a cup of coffee, you can go up to the second floor and then see the peek into the Apple campus, which is Apple generally is very privacy, right? But they will allow you to go up to the second floor and then peek into it. So that's a very, very special Apple store we're going to have, okay? There will be lots of excitement this year. So I would like to encourage all our residents to get involved, be informed, find the facts, tell the truth, and do the right things. Whatever you do will have a tremendous impact to this great city for a long term. In the meantime, be fair, be just, be honest, be kind to each other. I don't want to just paint a nice picture for our city, but we do have some great challenge ahead of us. Climate change, for example, is a big item. It's a very serious item. Yes, it is a global issue. However, it is all come down to individual action we take here. If we don't reduce the global, the greenhouse gas emission, we're going to have a problem, okay? And as Pope Francis put it, the climate change is a moral issue. He is absolutely right. And I say that if this generation is unwilling and unable to adapt the change of the climate, the human race may go extinct when the extreme weather hits, and which may come sooner than what we expected. And if that happens, that would be really a shame for all of us, because we climb from the monkey to become this stage after about 5,000 years, and it totally got wiped out. That's really bad, okay? So please take a look of Carl Sagan's narrative about the small pale blue dot, our Mother Earth.
From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on the mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the only home we've ever known, the pale blue dot.
So look at the Earth from the space. Our Mother Earth is just a small, pale blue dot. As of today, as what Carl said, we cannot find any other creature in any other place except on this small blue dot. It is very fragile, and we have to protect this pale blue dot if we would like to have our future generation to live and to thrive. So our city has initiated the community choice energy program. I want to thank our council member Rosing, who is champion on this. And we also put in the solar panel and at the service area. We installed quite a few electrical car charging stations. If you have get a chance to go to a Main Street, which Peter Powell has put it up, on their first floor, the garage is pretty much all charging stations. So, but we also ban the use of plastic bag, etc. Okay, we have to do more. Another example: if every American drove 10 miles less a week, we can reduce 100 billion pounds of carbon emission each year. Talking about driving less, the traffic congestion is another big problem in this region and also in our city. It is really bad now and will get worse because we don't have an effective mass rapid transit system in place. Silicon Valley traffic just jumped up from the 6th worst area in the nation to 5th place. Okay, first place is Hawaii, second place is LA, third place is San Francisco, fourth place is Seattle, and we are the 5th place now. Okay. Major funding for transportation come from gasoline sales tax, and it has continued to drop. This means we will have less money to solve our traffic congestion problem. I just attended the new mayors and the city council conference in Sacramento last week. Our state leaders are working very hard and trying to find a solution. In the meantime, the funding for transportation will continue to drop. Another big problem, in my opinion, you don't have to agree with me, is Valley Transportation Authority, so-called VTA in this Santa Clara County here. It's not working on to move people where people wants to go. They're working on to move people where VTA want them to go, and that's what the bigger problem, in my opinion. Unless VTA shift its paradigm, the traffic congestion in our area will get much worse. We have to do more within our city and working with our neighboring city. And I would like to see that we start a free shuttle bus service for our senior and then also for our students and all our residents, which inside our city and also reach to Caltrain station. So if someone want to go out, they can take the Caltrain and then go anywhere they want to go. And we also need to do more to provide a safer path for our bikers and our pedestrians. So I have asked our library commissioner and then also librarian Jerry Liu to host a video contest among our students to find a solution for our traffic. And Jerry, can you stand up? Can you give him a hand? Short notice, and then he did a very good job. And then our students are doing a very good job. We have four winner for three prizes. So you will say, why 4 winner for 3 prizes? Because the number 1, number 2, and number 3, we have 2 number 3 ties. So instead of cutting one out, I give them both of them. So we'll see some of their work. So on the video.
That the elevated bike lane solves are the accidents that occur when cyclists try to bike near cars that are parallel parked on the sidewalk. By moving the cyclists next to the pedestrians, cars that are parked on the sides of the street.
And obviously there's a bad side to everything, and to cars that was traffic. Well, traffic has always been a problem all around the world, and that definitely applies to Silicon Valley.
Instead of just a single route, upping the appeal of public transportation and keeping the freeways and roads less congested. Increasing the options in which commuters can exit out of this residential zone will still not.
So we have a 5-step plan for reducing traffic in Cupertino as well as the Silicon Valley. Our 5 steps are to
stage 1, which is using an app to encourage spontaneous carpooling, addresses the short-term issue of congestion. So our main concern is to increase the vehicle efficiency through carpooling.
The winner is Taco Cat. Derek Lee and Jonathan Fong. So I have talked to the city manager. He agreed. We will place each video is about a couple minutes, 7 minutes, about 7 minutes. So we'll place on our city council agenda at the beginning of the meeting for the next 4 meetings, and then we'll bring them up. We'll give them the award. So the first prize is $400. Second prize is $200, and the third prize is $100. So that's the best money I spend for the city on the so-called mayor discretionary money. Okay, and the next video is I also want to thank former Mayor Ross Singh suggested that he will come out with his discretional money, and he wanted me to come out with my discretional money. So we put it together this video about the traffic. Take a look.
Traffic in Silicon Valley. It has gotten worse and worse, particularly with the economy booming. Every morning, commuters drive north on 85 and 280 from San Jose and cities to the south, to jobs in Cupertino, Sunnyvale, Mountain View, and beyond. For much of their trip, they sit in traffic. Since 2013, we've had an explosion of new office development in the same cities and new housing in San Jose and cities to the south, which will soon bring a lot more traffic on these roads. As Silicon Valley has grown, our highways have filled up beyond their capacity, causing traffic to leak out onto our arterial roads and back up into our neighborhoods. At this rate, our already overcrowded network is headed for gridlock within the next decade. Imagine your commute time doubling or tripling. This is our future unless we imagine and build something different. What if we widen the freeways? A freeway lane can handle 6,000 cars over a 3-hour commute period. Even if we had the land and taxpayer dollars to build a new lane in each direction, the cars from just one tech campus are more than enough to fill it. Why don't we demand that big companies solve the traffic problem themselves with private buses? Maybe Diamond or Express lanes will fix things. Big companies have taken many cars off the road, bringing up to half of their employees to work by private bus. But they're reaching the limits of what they can feasibly do moving their own employees. Both public and private buses are now getting stuck in the same traffic as cars, and our Diamond lanes are just as congested as the other lanes during peak commute time. There's no one-size-fits-all solution that will solve our growing traffic problem, but one thing is certain: we must provide transit alternatives that better use our limited real estate and get us to where we're going faster than in cars. This will take a dedicated transit lane or track, or a combined lane and track. Some say we've already tried public transit in Silicon Valley and it just won't work. Service is infrequent, ridership is poor, and geographic coverage is poor. In particular, it doesn't bring people to most major job centers, which is critical for effective service. And where it runs, it often runs too slowly to offer a faster alternative to cars. Some say that our metro area, dominated by single-story buildings, is not dense enough for transit, but many other metro areas with similar density have an effective transit system. Silicon Valley leads the world in innovation, but we live in a transit desert. So what are we, residents, businesses, decision makers, the people of Silicon Valley, going to do about it? How do we get out of this desert? How do we avoid gridlock if we want Silicon Valley to continue to prosper? How have other single-story metro areas solved this problem? We'll explore answers to these questions in our next video.
Thanks, Council Member Rossing. He's the one getting this all together. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? The next chapter has yet to be fully written. But in the last year, we were been able to work with the West Valley City and also North County City. Just in case you don't know what West Valley City means: Cupertino, Saratoga, Campbell, Los Gatos, and Monte Sereno, 5 cities. And North County is Nasoto Hills, Nasoto, Sunnyvale, Mountain View, Palo Alto. So if we, all the North Counties City and then West Valley City work together, we have a much better leverage and then hopefully get some solution toward this area here, okay? So stay tuned. The next one is Lehigh, and I got to talk about it, right? Lehigh Southwest Cement Plant's pollution issue is not only a local issue, but also a state and national issue. The reason is Silicon Valley is the economic engine for California, and also for our nation. And this antiquated, dirty cement plant is located between Cupertino Hills and Los Altos Hills. It has received numerous number of the citation or notice of violation from Environmental Protection Agency, Office of Mine and Reclamation, State of California, and State Water Quality Control Board, Bay Area Air Quality Management District, and Labor Department, and Santa Clara County. This is the only cement plant out of about 1,000 cement plants in the United States. Is so close to the metropolitan area. The air and water pollution this cement plant produces is harmful not only to the 7.2 million residents in San Francisco Bay Area, it also kills many of the living creatures in the area. EPA just came down with their consent decree on April 29, 2015, and fined Lehigh Cement $7.55 million to clean up the Permanente Creek. EPA also issued a notice of violation regarding Lehigh's violation in the Federal Clean Air Act, and they issued a notice of violation on March 10, 2010. Lehigh still negotiated with the EPA for the settlement, and they've been negotiating for 6 years. And while they're negotiating for the settlement, they continue to pollute. And that's what the ridiculous of the law in this country is. So that's another big item I can discuss for many, many days, but I will stop right here. If Lehigh is unwilling and unable to obey the law, it should be shut down. And we need help from the county supervisor Joe's meeting here, okay? Help us out, please. And our city is blessed with a very diverse population, and we do celebrate our different cultures, but we still have racial issue here. It is not as visible as the nation, however, or as bad as the nation. However, I have personally encountered several racial incidents. Yes, Black life matters. In fact, every life matters. This is a country built on immigrant, and we are all immigrant. There is no place for one group of people to look down or discriminate against another. I remember last year when I held 5 town hall meetings about the high density issue. I have few people come to my town hall meeting yelling and screaming at me, and one wrote an article and post on the opposition group's website. I don't want to mention the name. If you check it out, you should know which group. And he wrote that he would like to see my body hanging on a tree and see my body twist in the wind. And he has a PhD degree. And this kind of behavior has no place in Cupertino, has absolutely no place in the nation. Looking at a much bigger picture, we are all passengers on this small, pale blue dot called Mother Earth. We should treat each other fairly, kindly, in comparison of our Mother Earth's 4.543 billion years of age, and the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, 13.21 billion years. Our average life span is less than 100 years for human, right? And so human life is just a small fraction of even a second on this time trend. So we must respect each other and we must respect life. With all this great challenge ahead of us, I encourage our residents to get involved. As I said before, find the fact, don't just get partial truth, and tell the truth. Don't lie, and do the right thing. In the meantime, to be fair, be just, be honest, and be kind. As you probably already know that some of our city council meetings last too long, sometimes till 5 a.m., right? In the morning. I'm glad to report to you that we, as a council, we agree we will end our city council meeting by 11 p.m. And anyone and every one of you are welcome, even you are in the opposition side. You have your 3 minutes, would pretty much reserved for you. And I also want to report back to you on January 19, my first mayor conducting the meeting. January 19, we ended our city council meeting 50 minutes before 11 p.m. So we have 100% successful rate, right? Even though it's only one meeting, but we are on the right track. I would like to have our city poet laureate, Amanda Williamson. She's the third one. So you heard the second one, the first one, now you have the third one. She will help me read Robert Frost's poem. Amanda, you want to come up? Calling Stopping by Wood on a Snowy Evening. Come on.
Thank you. I'm glad to be in a city that supports the arts. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and the frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds, the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Thanks.
I'm also Amanda's student. She is teaching how to write English poem in Cupertino Library. So if you would like to learn how to write poem in English, please come to Cupertino Library. Yes, we all have promises to keep and miles to go before we sleep. So let's go out and do the right thing for our city, our state, our nation, and our Mother Earth. In the meantime, have fun. Thank you very much.